Okay, Python scope means, so what is the scope for the variables? So even we learned in any other programming languages. So when we declare the variable, so that scope will belongs to within the open brace and close brace, right? So but here in the Python, we use the indentation. So once we use the indentation, so when this indentation will close. So for example, we are using this much indentation. So this indentation has been closed here. So because we are not using the indentation here, so it is starting from this position. So then this x variable scope will end for this line. So after this the x variable will be deleted from the RAM. So like this, this is the variable scope. So like this we can see. So how can we use the scope variable? I think we have checked the global keyword also to make a global variable. In the previous class, I think we have checked for that. So for the global concept. So also function inside a function means, so once you declare the variable, so inside this function also it can be accessible. This is also same like other programming languages. So we'll execute a sample program and we'll check that how inside a function, another function, how we can access that variable. So let's take this example on this. So this is a one function definition. So when you use the keyword def, so you're just defining the method. So you are not going to call any method. So when you are calling that method, so you just have to mention the method name with the open bracket and close bracket. So there is no any colon is required. So here we use this colon, two dots. So it means that so there is a implementation in the from the next line. So for that we should use the indentation. Even in the if loop and for loop, we were using this much indentation after the condition statement. Okay, so I just declared the my function method. So and I am declaring the variable x. So and inside this, I am declaring one more method. Okay, so after this method, I am calling this method. So this is just a definition. Okay, so when you call this method only, this code will be start executing. Okay, so we can check that. So I will just put the debugger and we can able to see the output. So the execution will not stop here first. It will stop in the line number 7 because this is just a definition. Only when the method is called, so that time only this code of line will be start executing. So the first execution will stop at the line number 7. So now we can able to see, so this execution has not stopped in the 4 or 5. So it has been stopped in the line number 7. So then I just step into this method. So by using the step into, so then it will start executing line by line. So x is the variable. So we can able to see here in the debugger, x is equal to, this is the integer type. So because we are storing the integer value. Okay, so then again there is a method definition. So once the method definition, so even this will not stop in the line number 4. Even if I continue this, so it will not stop in the 4, it will stop in the 5 because this is just a definition. Only when the method is called, so that time only it will start executing inside the lines of code. So I just continue that. So it stopped at the line number 5. So not the line number 4. So when you continue this, so again it will stop in the line number 4. So because here we have called this method. Okay. So the x value is 300. You can able to see the x value. So this is the scope. So once you have declared the variable inside whatever the methods you create, so it can be accessible. Only outside of this method, it cannot be accessible. For example, if I want to access the x here, so it will throw the error because it is not able to accessible. It is not able to access. So let's continue. So it's printing the x value. So and it exited the code. So but that same x value I can't able to access here. So just if I want to print x, so here only it is throwing the error unresolved reference x. Even if I compile it, it will throw the error. It is throwing the exception. The name x is not defined. So because x is not scope of this. So if you declare the x outside this, so then it is, we can use it. For example, so now there is no error. So initially it is a 0. Okay, because this method has been called after this printing x value. So initially it is 0. So after this, it is calling this my function method. So that's why the value is printing 300. So because this x value has been initialized as 300. So global scope means if you declare outside of this method, so it will be a global. So as I explained and I have executed the same thing they have shown. So naming the variable means, so you should start with alphabet. So you should not start with any special character or any numbers. So and how the global keyword works. I think already we have discussed in the previous, in the last class. I don't know. Okay, we'll do it once again. So I'm not declaring the text in the outside. So I'm just using the keyword global. First we need to declare, after that I'm just initializing. So here I am printing the x value. So here the x is not declared. So because before calling this method only, I am trying to print. So we'll see what will the x is not defined. So if I continue that, it will go inside this. Again, it will go print X. Then we can able to see X value is a 300. So whatever it is declared inside this method, we can make it as a global by using the global keyword. Okay, so this is the example. So how can we make a global value, global variable inside the method? So any doubts in this? No.
Sir? No, sir. No.
Okay. So be interactive. So if you have any questions, you just ask me. So until to complete this Python, it will be a class will be like this because this is a very simple concepts. So even those who are not a computer programming people also, they can learn the Python. So because that much simple is there, the Python programming language. You might get it is a very simple or something. It might get bored because it's a very simple concept. Those who have not studied the programming concepts or computer programming languages also, it is very easy to understand, easy concepts. Okay, so when I go for the real-time application developments, whatever I was going to teach Python Django, so Python Django application development, that time you get more interest. So because you are going to develop the real-time application. So, but you must and should know the complete Python basic concepts. So whatever I am explaining is the complete very basic concepts. Okay, so even these concepts you can able to read it and you can able to understand like this much very simple concepts. So, but when you go for any framework or any application development, you should be know the how to develop the proper way of application development. You should be know. So then only you can able to develop the proper application. Okay, so until this still more concept, so the class will be like this. Okay, but you should be understand all the concepts. So these are all the very important one. Okay, so module means so in any other programming languages already you are started working in most of the peoples. So you people that have worked already in the C Sharp or Java or any other programming languages. So if you have used any libraries and if you have created any classes, so you will import that class by using the import method. In C Sharp, maybe some different keyword for importing. So here in Python also we use the same keyword, import keyword. So import by after using the import keyword, we should mention the module name. So then that module is just a class. So then we can import that class. So we'll just demonstrate that. So in this project, I'm just going to create another file. Test.py. So here I just add one method. Okay, this is just an example class. So this can be having any number of implementation, any number of classes. So, but if I want to import this module in the main class, so I have to use the import keyword. So I have just after import, if I type it your class, your file name, so it will show that suggestion. So I am just calling that test. So test is a method. One more method is there. So that's why I can able to call this test method. So we'll just execute and we'll see. So it's supposed to print the test string. So you can able to see that string as a test. Okay, so this is the module. So module means I have created another Python file. So when you want to import that Python file, you have to import by using this type of steps. So by using the import keyword, you should mention the class, not class, that Python file. Just a minute. Yeah. So we also redefine the name, module name. So for example, I am importing a test. So we can use it as keyword as a T. Okay, so I am mentioning, I am going to use that test module as a T. So then in this file, I should use as a T. Okay, it means that so the test module is going to replace with the variable, replace with the name T. So you can give whatever name you want. So this is the actual file name, import and actual file name, and you can represent with the any character name. So that we call it as a renaming a module. So even without renaming the module, you can use directly as a test. So in the initially which I have tested. So we'll execute and we'll see this output also. So this is also working, not a problem. So in the Python like this, we can import the modules. And there is a lot of built-in models. So built-in models means Python have a lot of libraries. So whatever you have installed the Python. So for example, this is the virtual machine. So this is the Python has been installed in this. So if you've seen inside this Python, so there is a lot of modules you can able to see. So these are all the libraries. So these libraries you can able to use it by using the import method. So how I have been imported this my implementation in the same way, whatever it's already implemented in the Python. So in the same way we can able to import it also. So let's try that. So they are giving the example of platform. Okay, platform is also, yeah.
Aksha, here there is no like a private public like
So that in the class and objects it is there. So but
okay.
there is no any private public keywords and all those things.
Okay.
So there is
So
no
whatever method we are creating in one class, so we can use it in anywhere.
yes.
Okay. Like there is no kind of any restriction, huh? Like if it is private means only we can call it only in the class, not in.
Yeah, you can't there is not like any private keyword and all.
Okay.
So whatever the class you create, so you can define the variables. So but if you use the self keyword, so it will be only within that class. So
Okay.
self.name, self.age. So this is only can be accessible within the class. So it can't be accessible outside the class. So if you want to get this self.name, it should be defined from the method.
Okay.
So there is no any private, public, protected and all like how we are seeing in the C# and Java.
Java. Okay.
Yeah, if you make it as a self dot, then it is the private.
Okay.
So if you use directly the variable name, so then that is the public. So there is no any private and also there is no any abstraction and all those things. There is only a inheritance interfaces.
Okay. There is no abstraction. Okay.
Yes. I think in the last class I have explained. So like this, we can only extend the class. So you need to mention, so within the bracket, whatever you have declared the class, right? So within that bracket, you have to mention the another class name, which you are going to extend that.
Okay.
So then this, when you create a student object, so it also includes the person class attributes also.
Sir, private public answer.
Yeah, private means you just have to use the self keyword if you want to make it as a private. Yeah, if there is only concept like a private and public. So if you want to make it as a private, so you have to use the self dot and variable name. So then it will be accessible only within that class. So for example, here self dot first name is there, right? So first name is the variable when the constructor is created, when the object is created. So this method will be called. This is like a constructor.
Yes.
Init method. Okay, so in that case, so whatever the first name you are passing in the constructor, so that name will be stored in the this private variable first name. And L name will be stored in the private keyword L name. So if you want to fetch this variable, you should accessible from the method only. You can't directly access from the variable object. So for example, here he is just initializing the value John and Dio, first name and last name. So but he is just printing that just by calling this method, he is printing the value. But he can't able to access like x dot first name, x dot last name. So only in that way we can able to make it as a private and public. So there is no any protected and all. There is no any protected and there is no any abstraction also. There is only inheritance. Inheritance, that is also like a extents. So it inherits the properties of the base class like that. So renaming the module, we have seen that. So we are just we can able to rename like this. Any other doubts, Saran?
No, Acha.
Okay, so it is object-oriented concepts also very simple in this Python. As how other concepts are very simple, in the object-oriented also it's very simple. There is lot of things will be handled inside actually.
Okay.
So there is a dir method. So we can directly call this dir method. So there is a built-in function to list all the function names. So it will list all the functions which is belongs to that module. So we'll check that. So even I have not checked. Even I have not used this dir method. So we'll execute and we'll see how it works. So there is a platform that is the inbuilt method. We have not tested also. So we'll check that first platform method, how it works. So platform.system, they are calling that one method platform.system. So we'll see. So it might be given the which platform I am using, that system platform. So I will just delete this method. Platform.system. So Windows, it is giving the my platform, my system, operating system, which one I am using. So if you use Ubuntu or Mac OS, so it will get the system information. So by using the platform is one of the package. In that package, we have a system as a one method. Okay, using the dir function. Okay, so if you call this dir method, so inside the platform, what all the methods are there? So system is one of the method. So in the same way, how many methods we can able to use, we'll check it. So these are all the inbuilt methods is there inside the platform. So which just we have used the system. So this is the one method we have used. So let's try platform dot system alias. We'll use the system alias. So we need to pass the 3 required parameters for the system alias parameter. Okay, we'll just check any other simple one. Username. it must return the username. We'll check the so this is the username. So uname, it is returning the, this is the desktop username, and this is the machine version release, and this is the operating system. So these are the inbuilt methods, so which we can able to use. So if you want to know, so this library, how many methods it is containing, so you can able to list it like this. So but in this IDE, if you want to know, so after you click the dot, you can able to see all the methods. So these are the methods are available. So I just call the machine. So which machine? So it's saying AMD 64. So my computer processor is the AMD 64. So that's why it is printing AMD 64. Import from module. So you can choose to import only parts from the module by using the from key. So what happens? So there is a lot of methods will be there. So if you want to import only some few methods, you can import it. So it's not required to import all the methods also. So that also will try it out. So in the test, so I will create a one more method. Lab. Okay, there is a two methods and test and there is a lab. So in the main method, when I am importing it, so let's give it a so first we have to use from and we have to use test and then import test method. So in the test, I am just importing only test. I am not importing the lab. So if I want to call the test, so I'm just calling the test method. Just print the value. So it's printing the lab. Okay, so it should. So it is only accessible the lab. So even if I want to use the test, it will not come. It will throw the error because I am not imported the test module from this test.py. So even if I execute, it will throw the error. So if I want to import the test, so I have to import the test module. So like this by using the comma separator, I should import the next module also. So now I will import Now I will call the test method. So now it is executing both the methods. So in the test, I have implemented the two methods, test and lab. Okay, so I have first I have imported only lab. So the lab was executing. If I type the test, it was not executing. Once I imported the test also, I can able to execute the test, that code also. So like this, we can import the modules. Okay, so these are the concepts in the modules. So in the modules, we can import as a direct import module name, and also we can import as by using the as keyword. We can redefine the name, renaming by using the as keyword. So you can give your own defined names. So then we can able to use by using this redefined names. So also we have seen this dir function. So it will list all the functions which is available